Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. You see the title. You see the title. We have finally come to the conclusion of this Jonathan Majors court uh, saga. Okay. So if you had not heard, today was the day that he was sentenced. He was sentenced today, and we are going to go over information about that. Let me pull up, let me get my information together, and I'm going to pull up the tweet. And as I'm pulling up this tweet, please hit that like button. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. And once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of different movies and videos that I have reviewed. Okay, let me I don't want to get to that, but here I want to get to, and I want to share my screen. All right, we're going to go over Danny does law and policy first. She was in the courtroom today. So this is what he was sentenced to. He got time served on the aggravated harassment citation, which is not a crime. He has 52 weeks LA-based diversionary program on the third-degree assault charge. So he has to spend 52 weeks of counseling in this diversionary program. And there's a $250 surcharge. There's a conditional discharge. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Let me stop sharing. All right, here we go. We're going to go to NBC. This is the actor Jonathan Majors gets probation, avoids jail time for assaulting ex-girlfriend. The 34-year-old Creed star and other films had faced up to a year behind bars, which is 364 days, after he was convicted of misdemeanor assault by a Manhattan jury in December. This is written. This is actually written by the Associated Press and Doha Medina. Madina. Actor Jonathan Majors will have to undergo a year-long counseling program, but avoided jail time when sentenced to probation on Monday for assaulting his ex-girlfriend in a high-profile case that derailed the once promising star's career. The former Marvel franchise star had faced up to a year behind bars after he was convicted of misdemeanor assault by a Manhattan jury. Instead of the judge ruled that Majors will be on probation, must pay a $250 fine and undergo a 52-week in-person counseling program approved by Los Angeles County Probation Department. If Majors is arrested anytime during his probation, these are the conditions of his probation. He could be forced to spend a year in jail. He's also not able to possess or apply or own a firearm, which is typical with domestic violence cases. As part of the ruling, a full order of protection will remain in place for his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. A sample of Major's DNA will be taken as part of his sentence. That's interesting. Following the guilty verdict, yeah, well, we got that. Let me see. There was something else that I wanted to. We got a statement from Priya that says he eagerly anticipates closing this chapter. He looks forward to redirecting his time and energy fully towards his family, his art, Major says. Lawyers said in a statement last week after losing their bid to have the conviction tossed out. All right. Let me stop sharing that. I'm going to share something else. I'm going to go through another here we go. This is by Vulture. This is written by Victoria Bekempis. Now, Victoria was in the courtroom as well. And because she's no longer wasn't she with the New York Times and she got downsized? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Shortly Shortly before Jonathan Majors was sentenced on Monday, April 8th, to an in-person batterers intervention program for his domestic violence case involving ex Grace Jabari, she described becoming a shell of a woman during their time together. And this is a quote from her Grace Jabari's impact statement, victim impact statement. I don't know why I couldn't get those words out. His assault essentially left me unable to sleep, unable to eat, dot, dot, dot. So she said a whole bunch of stuff in between there and experienced a total loss of self esteem. She recounted that when I was with him, I became a different version of myself. I was small, scared, and vulnerable. She says he is not sorry. He has not accepted responsibility, and he will do this again and will hurt other women, Jabari said. This is a man who believes that he is above the law. That's interesting coming. Okay. That's interesting. That statement right there for me is interesting. When she did say that she knew that he was afraid of what the police would do. All right. And so let's see. I wanted to say, and then we also know that Major chose not to speak during his sentencing, and his defense lawyer, if you haven't, go back and watch Kat's live. It's like a 3-hour live she just did today. Me, Chill, uh, Blue, Illuminati, Lauren Victoria Burke, and Dr. Hines. We were all on there at different intervals talking about this case. And there was a point where Priya Chaudhry's comments to the court was read on there. So go back and listen to that. All right. So let me stop sharing this because this is what I want you to see. This is all I wanted you to see. So what do you think? I wasn't going to be on here long. I just wanted to let you know for those of you all that were following and wanted to know what the conclusion was, this was the conclusion. Please follow all the people that have been covering this case since the beginning. Shout out to Kat, shout out to Chill, shout out to Dre Mac, shout out to Danny, shout out to Blue, shout out to Dr. Hines, shout out to Tina, shout out to everyone who's followed this case and interjected their information and what they thought was going on. It has been much, much appreciated. Shout out to Lauren Victoria Burke for being a journalist, but listened to us itty bitty old YouTubers and was able to take the information and fact check it and go back through it and see what we were saying and talking about, if it was true or if it wasn't true, if we were coming from bias, if we weren't coming from bias. Just shout out to, I am appreciative of that, to having someone who is in that journalistic space to just listen to what we were saying and not take it as we were being delusional supporters or delusional this or something like that, whatever the media says about folks. All right, people. Did anybody watch the solar eclipse today? I watched my fill. It went once it got to the point where they said it was going to get for my state. I checked out. I just watched it get to that point and I left. For those people who had the ability for it to do a complete blackout, what happened? What did y'all think? All right, people. We do this. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please support this channel. Support this channel by hitting that like button and becoming a subscriber. That's free. If you also want to become a member, it's $1.99. I'd appreciate it. If you want to bless the Cash App, do so as well. It's PamEntertainmentTV, all one word. Also, I will be dropping my second part to what is the 4B movement this week. So y'all check that video out. I've already dropped the first installment of it, is what is the 4B movement and why does it have TikTok in a chokehold? And I talked about what the 4B movement is. We're going to be talking about this chokehold in the second part. All right, people, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell your coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos, child. And as always, people, bye-bye.